So, in what should be a surprise to absolutely nobody, Caitlin Clark has been named most valuable player. Wait, Puerto Rico got into the World Cup. Wow. But Caitlin Clark got named most valuable player for this group.
So Caitlin Clark just won MVP for the undefeated Team USA squad. And before you roll your eyes thinking this is another participation trophy situation, let me show you exactly why this wasn't even close. Because the stats don't just favor Clark. They completely obliterate any other argument.
Caitlin Clark led Team USA in total points, assists per game, efficiency was... I think she might have. I'm not. Maybe did she still lead in plus minus in the end? Like it didn't really matter. She was the only player. Like Paige Beckers wasn't top 3 in points. Paige wasn't top 3 in assists. Kalia Copper had some garbage games. It was obviously going to get.
Led the team in total points. Led in assists per game. Top 3 in efficiency. And here's the kicker: she was in the conversation for leading in plus minus across all 5 games. When you're dominating in 3 major statistical categories simultaneously, you're not just having a good tournament, you're putting on a clinic. But what makes this MVP award particularly significant isn't just the numbers, it's the timing.
I think there's a reason why I took an hour nap and woke up now, because I knew she was going to be named MVP. I knew she was going to be named MVP. So, who was the All-Star 5? I'll be interested to see who the All-Star 5 was. Obviously Caitlin getting named MVP is kind of cool. Okay, so they gave her the MVP trophy. I'm surprised they didn't name the full All-Star 5. Or did they? No, they haven't named the All-Star 5. So my guess, I don't know. I actually don't know, because they're going to put 2 Americans in it. I have no idea.
8 months. That's how long Caitlin Clark had been away from competitive basketball before this tournament. 8 months recovering from what looked like a season-ending situation during her final college games. And the difference is visible. Watch her movement in these games compared to late in her Iowa season. She's not just healthy, she's faster than she was before the injury. The weight loss is obvious. The lateral quickness is back. The explosion on her first step returned. During the college season's final stretch, even when she was quote-unquote cleared to play, something was off. She looked slower navigating screens. Her defensive rotations lagged half a step behind. Now, she's moving like the player who terrorized defenses for 4 years at Iowa.
And if you want to say, oh, she was the MVP because Kalia Copper sat a game out. Kalia Copper sat a game out. Like, that's a fact. But, yeah. If you guys agree Caitlin Clark deserved MVP, subscribe. We are trying to get to 570.5k by the end of the day, and we're 20 subscribers off. And lads, it is currently 3 a.m. where I am. I am in all the bits. I am in bits right now, trying to make this video.
Now let's address the elephant in the room, because there's always pushback when Caitlin Clark wins anything. The defense argument, but what about the other end of the floor? Here's what actually happened in that final game specifically. Clark wasn't just passable defensively. She was legitimately one of the best defensive guards on the team that day. Not over the entire tournament, let's be clear about that, but in the championship game when it mattered most, she showed up on both ends. And here's the reality about this tournament structure. When you're winning every game by an average of 40 points, individual defense becomes almost irrelevant to the outcome. The talent gap was that massive.
Was there any doubt? Took 8 months off and won. Did all that defensive nitpicking, and many people gotta be like, there's both ends. Well, yes, but they won every game. They won by an average of like 40 points. So no, like individual defense does not matter when you're winning by an average of 40 points. But the best in the world, I wouldn't say that, to be honest. The best in the world, it's hard to argue over Asia right now. A bit less of the old Caitlin Clark hater situation.
Compare this to how other elite guards performed. Kelsey Plum had the scoring, but nothing else. Paige Buchers was solid across the board but didn't dominate any single category. Sabrina Ionescu had stretches of brilliance mixed with complete disappearing acts. The only player who maintained excellence in multiple facets simultaneously was Clark. And this matters because of what it represents for the upcoming WNBA season. Training camps are supposed to start in 2 weeks, though that timeline is looking increasingly uncertain. There's a legitimate chance the first week of preseason gets scrapped entirely due to ongoing CBA negotiations. But whenever the season does start, we're getting a version of Caitlin Clark that the league hasn't seen yet. Not the rookie still adjusting, not the injured player grinding through pain. The fully healthy, 8 months rested, visibly improved version.
Herself again, and hopefully we get a season. The odds of there being a season is very high. The odds of there being a season that's not delayed, I don't know. I think they'll delay training camp, they'll delay preseason, because there's a 2-week gap between the start of preseason games and the start of the season. They'll just take away a week of preseason. We're at the stage where that's a near certainty, where that first week of preseason is not going to be happening. But getting to watch Caitlin Clark again is going to be big, and it's going to be big for a lot of us. It's going to be big. We're going to be able to watch one of the best players in the world, most exciting player in the world, go play her game and continue to kind of just do her thing. Continue to do what she does.
Let's talk about what makes Clark appointment viewing, because the analytics revolution in basketball has made the sport more efficient and simultaneously less exciting. Everything optimizes toward the same shots, the same spacing, the same predictable patterns. It's effective basketball. It's also boring basketball. Then you watch Caitlin Clark play. Any given possession when she has the ball in her hands, something magical might happen. A logo 3 that has no business going in, a no-look pass that shouldn't be physically possible, a hesitation move that freezes a defender in place. You can't predict it, you can't scheme for it, you just have to watch it happen. That's the difference between good players and transcendent ones. Good players execute the game plan. Transcendent players create moments that make you remember why you started watching basketball in the first place. The sport needs more of that, not less. And Clark delivers it consistently.
Ball from an entertainment standpoint, which it is. People are like, oh, people just care about those logo threes. Well, it matters. Those passes, those logo threes, they're the reason you watch. The can't miss plays that Caitlin Clark can make on any given possession. We saw one of them every game here. That's why you watch. That's why you tune into sports. There are moments. And any given possession when Caitlin Clark, unless she's being played off the ball and being told to play small forward, on any given possession, Caitlin Clark has an ability to pull off something magic. And that is, for me, one of those things with Caitlin Clark is it's one of the biggest reasons why I kind of got into it, is that just on the purest level, with the way modern basketball is going, with the analytic takeover of modern basketball, with the way things are going, there are the sport becomes about moments. And for me, you're seeing Caitlin Clark just be able to, what she does and how she does it, that kind of brings that kind of the joy back into watching the sport in that regard. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Congratulations, Caitlin. Well deserved.
Here's what this MVP award actually represents, beyond just 5 games of international competition. It's validation that Clark's rookie season wasn't a fluke driven by media hype. It's confirmation that 8 months away from the game didn't diminish her abilities. It's proof that she can dominate against elite international competition, not just college players or WNBA rookies. But more importantly, it sets the stage for what's coming next, because the narrative around Caitlin Clark has been exhausting for everyone involved. Every achievement gets questioned. Every award gets asterisked. Every performance gets picked apart by people determined to diminish it. And yet she keeps showing up and putting up numbers that are impossible to argue with. The fan vote for this tournament's MVP went to Angel Reese, which tells you everything about how bot-driven online polls have become. The media vote went overwhelmingly to Clark because the people actually watching the games saw what happened on the court. That gap between perception and reality is what makes covering the sport so complicated right now. Think about the position this puts everyone in. Fans who want to celebrate Clark's achievements get accused of racism or disrespecting other players. Analysts who point out her statistical dominance get labeled as biased. Media members who cover her extensively get accused of ignoring the rest of the league. Meanwhile, Clark just keeps playing basketball and letting the results speak for themselves. The upcoming WNBA season is going to be fascinating for this exact reason. We're getting a healthy Caitlin Clark with a full offseason of training, playing for a Fever team that's had time to build around her properly. The supporting cast improved. The coaching staff has a year of experience managing rotations around her unique skill set. The infrastructure is in place for a legitimate championship run. And that's when the real pressure starts. Because rookie season comes with built-in excuses. The adjustment period, the learning curve, the physical demands of a professional schedule. Year 2 doesn't have those safety nets. Either you're a legitimate superstar or you're not. Either you can carry a team deep into the playoffs or you can't. Either you live up to the hype or you don't. Based on what we just saw in this international tournament, Clark is ready for that challenge. The efficiency numbers were elite. The decision-making was sharp. The leadership was natural. She didn't just perform well individually. She made everyone around her better, which is what actual MVPs do. Watch how the other players moved when Clark had the ball. They cut harder because they knew the pass would come. They spotted up with confidence because they trusted her reads. They pushed the pace because they knew she could deliver in transition. That's not something you can manufacture. That's organic chemistry that only happens with truly special playmakers. So was this MVP deserved? Absolutely. Was it obvious? Completely. Does it matter beyond just this tournament? More than people realize. Because Caitlin Clark just sent a message to the entire WNBA. 8 months off didn't slow her down. It made her better. And that should terrify every team that has to face the Fever next season. The question now isn't whether Clark can be great. We know she can. The question is whether she can sustain that greatness over a full season while carrying championship expectations. Based on everything we just watched, I'd say the odds are pretty good. What do you think? Drop your predictions for Clark's second season in the comments. And if you think someone else deserved this MVP, make your case. I'll be reading every single one.